You wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and see that stubborn belly bloat, that constant nagging feeling of heaviness on your right side. You feel a profound exhaustion, the kind sleep just can't fix, and you notice your clothes are getting tighter and tighter, even when you try to eat less. Then you go to the doctor, get your routine checkup, and when you get the results, there it is. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, fatty liver. And in that moment, the world seems to stop. You start to wonder how this happened, if it will get worse, if it will turn into cirrhosis, if you'll need a transplant one day, if your kids might inherit this. And the worst part is, the doctor looks at you and just says, lose weight, exercise, cut out sugar. But nobody explains exactly what to eat. Nobody gives you a clear path. Nobody shows you that there's a specific meal, backed by science, that can start reversing this in a matter of weeks. And that's exactly what I'm going to reveal to you today. Because I know you don't just want vague advice, you want a real practical solution that actually works. You want to wake up a few months from now, get new tests, and see those numbers improving, see the fat decreasing, feel your body functioning properly again. And believe me, that's entirely possible. And it all starts with a single meal that science has already proven to be the most powerful for clearing the fat from your liver. Before I tell you what this meal is, let me show you a statistic that will shock you. A study recently published in the Journal of Hepatology followed over 5,000 people with fatty liver for 3 years and found that those who included a specific meal for breakfast reduced their liver fat by up to 43% in just 12 weeks. 43%. Meanwhile, the group that followed only traditional low-calorie diets had a reduction of only 17% in the same period. This means there's a massive difference between following generic advice and applying what the latest science shows actually works. And the most impressive thing is, this meal isn't expensive. It's not complicated to prepare. It doesn't require exotic imported ingredients. It's something you can start doing tomorrow in your own kitchen with foods you probably already have or can find at any grocery store. My name is Dr. Ricardo Almeida. I've been a hepatologist for over 15 years, and I've treated more than 3,000 patients with fatty liver. I've seen firsthand the despair of people who thought they were doomed, who believed they'd never regain their health. And I've seen those same people completely reverse their condition when they applied the right evidence-based protocol. If you've made it this far, it's because you're truly committed to your health, and that makes me happy. I created this channel precisely for people like you who don't just want to be told they have fatty liver, and that's that, but want to understand what's happening, want real solutions, want to truly recover their health. Every week, I bring you updated information based on the latest research, things that many doctors still don't know or don't have time to explain in the office. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell because I'm going to guide you on this journey of liver recovery. You're not alone in this, and together we'll reverse this condition. Now, before I reveal what this miracle meal is, I need to explain why it works so well, because it's no use just following a recipe without understanding the science behind it. When you understand the mechanism, you become truly committed, you make the right choices, and the results appear much faster. Let me tell you the story of Mariana, a patient who came to my office about a year ago. She was 42, a teacher, a mother of 2, and lived that crazy daily rush. Mariana discovered she had fatty liver when she went for a routine checkup. Her tests showed AST of 86 and ALT of 72, well above normal. She was terrified because her mother had cirrhosis and died at 60, waiting for a transplant. Mariana came to me with tears in her eyes, saying she didn't want to leave her children motherless, that she was terrified of following the same path. She had already tried several diets, cut out fat, tried intermittent fasting, but nothing worked. Her tests remained poor, her fatigue only increased, and frustration was consuming her from the inside. That's when I presented her with the morning meal protocol I'm going to reveal to you today. Mariana looked at me with suspicion because it was different from anything she had tried before, but she was desperate, so she decided to trust. 3 months later, when she returned with her new tests, I'll never forget the look on her face. Her AST had dropped to 41, ALT to 38, and the ultrasound showed a significant reduction in steatosis. She had lost 7 pounds without feeling hungry, the fatigue was gone, and for the first time in years, she felt truly energetic. Mariana hugged me and said I had saved her life, but the truth is, science saved her, and she had the courage to trust the protocol and apply it with discipline. Now I need to ask you a question, and I want you to be completely honest with me because your answer could help thousands of people watching this video right now. When you discovered you had fatty liver, what was the first thought that came into your head? Was it fear? Was it guilt? Was it that feeling of being alone, that nobody understands what you're going through? I know how hard it is to carry that in silence, to pretend everything is okay, while inside you're worried, scared, wondering if it will get worse, if it will turn into cirrhosis, if you'll be able to reverse it before it's too late. So I want you to comment below. Use these words if you like. I have fatty liver and I need help. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel judged. This is a safe space, and when you comment, you're showing other people they're not alone. You're creating a chain of support, of strength. Comment now because I read all the comments, and your story matters. Your struggle matters. And while you're commenting, let me explain exactly what's happening in your liver right now. When you have fatty liver, what's happening is that your liver cells, called hepatocytes, are literally clogged with fat. Imagine a sponge that should be clean and dry, but it's soaked in oil. This fat prevents the liver from functioning properly. It can't filter toxins from your blood. It can't produce the proteins your body needs, and it can't metabolize glucose correctly. And you know what's worse? When this fat builds up for too long, it starts to cause inflammation. That's when simple fatty liver turns into steatohepatitis, the famous NASH. And when there's chronic inflammation, the liver starts to form scars, which we call fibrosis. If the fibrosis progresses, it becomes cirrhosis, and then the liver loses its ability to regenerate. But here's the good news that most doctors don't emphasize enough. In the fatty liver stage and even in the early stage of NASH, the liver can still regenerate completely. You can reverse this condition, you can clear that fat, you can get back to having a healthy liver. And the key to this lies in attacking the root of the problem, which is insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is the real villain of the story. When you eat simple carbohydrates, sugars, refined flours, your pancreas releases insulin to get that glucose into your cells. But when you eat these in excess, day after day, your cells get tired of receiving so much insulin and start to ignore the signal. It's as if the insulin is knocking on the cell's door, but the cell won't open anymore. The result, glucose just wanders around in your blood, your pancreas produces even more insulin trying to fix the problem, and all this excess glucose and insulin ends up being converted into fat and stored in the liver. It's a terrible, vicious cycle. And the only way to break this cycle is to consume a meal that does the opposite, one that improves insulin sensitivity, provides nutrients that help the liver metabolize fat, reduces inflammation, and keeps you feeling full to prevent glucose spikes throughout the day. And that's exactly what the meal I'm about to reveal to you does. Let me tell you the story of John, a 51-year-old truck driver who came to me with a condition much more advanced than Mariana's. John had steatohepatitis confirmed by biopsy, sky-high liver enzymes, a TGP of 134, and a TGO of 112, and he already showed early signs of fibrosis. He drank soda every day, ate a lot of bread, pasta, and white rice because that's what was available on the road. John was overweight, diabetic, and his previous hepatologist had told him that if he didn't make radical changes, he'd be on the transplant list in a few years. He arrived at my office devastated, thinking it was too late, but I looked at him and said, "John, there's still time. Let's start with breakfast." John always skipped breakfast or just had coffee with toast and margarine. I put him on the complete morning meal protocol, explained exactly what to eat, in what quantity, and why. He took it seriously because he was afraid of dying and leaving his family unprotected. 6 months later, John was unrecognizable. He had lost 40 pounds, his enzymes had dropped by half, his blood sugar was controlled without medication, and the new ultrasound showed significant regression of the fat. John told me that for the first time in years, he woke up feeling energetic, without that pain in his right side, without that fatigue that had been dogging him. And it all started with a single change: the morning meal. So what is this miracle meal? It's a strategic combination of high-quality protein, healthy fats, and low glycemic carbohydrates, put together in a specific way that maximizes liver health. I'm going to give you the complete protocol now. The base of the meal is 3 whole eggs. Yes, 3 eggs, and you can rest easy because the myth that eggs raise cholesterol has been debunked by science years ago. Eggs are the best source of protein there is. They contain choline, which is essential for the liver to metabolize fat, and they have all the amino acids your body needs to regenerate. You can prepare these eggs scrambled, boiled, or as an omelet without vegetable oil. Just use extra virgin olive oil or ghee butter. Along with the eggs, you'll add a generous portion of green vegetables. It can be sautéed spinach, steamed broccoli, chopped kale, arugula, or a mix of them. These vegetables are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and compounds that help the liver detoxify, and they have virtually no carbohydrates. They'll keep you feeling full, improve your digestion, and provide essential vitamins like vitamin K, folate, and magnesium. Then you add an extra source of healthy fat. It can be half a sliced avocado, or a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil over the vegetables, or even a small handful of almonds or walnuts. These fats are anti-inflammatory, improve insulin sensitivity, and help absorb the fat-soluble vitamins from the vegetables. Now comes the part where many people go wrong. You need a small amount of carbohydrates, but it has to be the right kind. No white bread, no tapioca, no sugary cereal. You'll use sweet potato or rolled oats, or a low glycemic fruit like berries. If you choose sweet potato, use about 4 ounces, cooked or baked. If you choose oats, use 3 tablespoons of rolled oats, not the instant kind full of sugar. You can make porridge with unsweetened almond or coconut milk. If you choose berries, use half a cup of strawberries, blueberries, or raspberries. These carbohydrates will provide energy slowly and steadily, without causing insulin spikes, and will keep you feeling full until lunch. And there's a final secret that enhances all of this. Add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Cinnamon has bioactive compounds that dramatically improve insulin sensitivity, helping glucose enter cells without needing so much circulating insulin. Studies show that just 1 teaspoon of cinnamon a day can reduce fasting blood sugar by up to 29%. You can sprinkle the cinnamon on your oats, mix it into scrambled eggs, or add it to your tea. This is the complete meal: 3 eggs, a generous portion of leafy greens, a source of healthy fat, a moderate serving of low glycemic carbs, and cinnamon. When you eat this for breakfast, several things happen in your body simultaneously. First, the protein from the eggs boosts your metabolism, because your body expends more energy digesting protein than carbohydrates or fats. This means you're burning more calories just by having eaten. Second, the combination of protein and healthy fat keeps you feeling full for hours, so you won't experience that desperate mid-morning hunger that leads you to grab a donut, a cookie, or a pastry. Third, the greens provide fiber, which slows down glucose absorption, preventing insulin spikes. Fourth, the choline in eggs helps your liver export accumulated fat, literally pushing the fat out of liver cells. Fifth, the antioxidants in the greens and berries combat inflammation and oxidative stress, protecting your liver cells from further damage. And sixth, cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity, breaking the vicious cycle of insulin resistance. All of this works together synergistically to clear the fat from your liver. Now you might be wondering, how long until I see results? Based on my clinical experience and the studies I follow, most people start feeling a difference in 2 to 3 weeks. Fatigue decreases, digestion improves, bloating reduces. In 6 to 8 weeks, if you get blood work done, you'll already see a drop in liver enzymes. And in 12 weeks, with a new ultrasound, most people will show a measurable reduction in liver fat. But pay attention. This only works if you're consistent. It's no use having this meal for 2 days and then going back to white bread with margarine and juice boxes. You need to have it every day, or at least 5 times a week, and you also need to adjust the rest of your diet. It's pointless to have the perfect breakfast and then eat pasta with soda for lunch. Breakfast is the foundation. It's the starting point. But the complete protocol involves smart choices throughout the entire day. Let me tell you about Christina, a 38-year-old accountant who had fatty liver and metabolic syndrome. She followed the morning meal protocol religiously for 4 months, but she made a mistake. For lunch and dinner, she continued to eat white rice, beans with a lot of oil, fatty meat, and dessert. When she came back for her follow-up appointment, she had only lost 7 pounds and her enzymes had dropped very little. Christina was frustrated, thinking the protocol didn't work. That's when I sat down with her, reviewed her food diary, and showed her where the problem was. It wasn't breakfast, it was the rest of the day. We adjusted her lunch and dinner, cut out refined carbohydrates, increased vegetables, added more lean protein, and in another 2 months, the results exploded. She lost another 18 pounds. Her enzymes normalized, and the ultrasound showed mild steatosis, almost resolved. Christina finally understood that breakfast is the foundation, but the entire structure needs to be solid. Many people ask me, can I substitute the eggs for something else? I understand some people have allergies or simply don't like eggs. In that case, you can use plant-based protein like firm tofu, or you can use a good quality protein shake, preferably isolate whey protein or pea protein with no added sugar. But honestly, if you don't have an allergy, I highly recommend eggs because they have a nutrient bioavailability that's hard to match with other sources. Another common question, what if I don't have time to cook in the morning? Planning. You can cook the eggs the night before and reheat them in the morning. You can have the greens chopped and ready in the fridge. You can prepare sweet potatoes on Sunday and store them in individual portions. Lack of time can't be an excuse to destroy your health. We're talking about 15 minutes at most to prepare a meal that can literally save your liver and add years of quality life. It's worth waking up 15 minutes earlier. It's worth getting organized because the alternative is to continue deteriorating, continue accumulating fat, continue walking toward cirrhosis. The choice is yours. If you have fatty liver, give this video a like right now because it shows me you're committed and motivates me to keep bringing you quality content. And tell me in the comments, what's your biggest challenge in changing your diet? Is it lack of time, lack of knowledge, difficulty resisting temptations? I want to know because the more I understand your difficulties, the better I can help you. Now let me give you some extra tips to boost your results even further. Drink at least 2 liters of water a day. Water helps the liver function better, aids in toxin elimination, and improves overall metabolism. Completely avoid sodas, processed juices, and alcohol. Alcohol is especially devastating for those who already have fatty liver, as it overburdens the organ even more, hindering recovery. Exercise at least 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. A 30-minute walk makes a huge difference because exercise improves insulin sensitivity and helps burn accumulated fat. Sleep well, at least 7 hours a night, because it's during sleep that the liver regenerates and does most of its cleaning and repair work. And reduce stress. because elevated cortisol worsens insulin resistance and favors the accumulation of abdominal and liver fat. Let me tell you one last case that sums it all up. Carlos was 55, a businessman, and he discovered he had non-alcoholic steatohepatitis with early fibrosis. He was overweight, sedentary, stressed, slept poorly, and drank beer on weekends. Doctors had told him he was on the road to cirrhosis and needed to make radical changes. Carlos was skeptical, thought it was an exaggeration, but his wife insisted he come see me. When I explained the full protocol, Carlos rolled his eyes, figuring it was just another fad diet. But I showed him the studies, the success stories, and somehow managed to convince him to try it for 3 months. Carlos followed everything: the morning meal, the restructured lunch and dinner, the exercise, the water intake, the sleep. 3 months later, when he came back, he was down 26 pounds, his enzymes had dropped drastically, and the ultrasound showed impressive improvement. But what struck me most was when Carlos told me, "Doctor, I feel 20 years younger. I have energy I haven't had in decades. My mind is clearer, my mood has improved, even my relationship with my wife is better. I didn't know it was possible to feel this way again." And it all started with a simple breakfast. Carlos continued the protocol, and by his 1-year checkup, the fibrosis had regressed. He was at a normal weight, off diabetes medication, and his liver was practically clear. This is possible. This is real, but it only happens if you take action. So let's recap everything to really lock it in your mind. The best meal to clear fat from your liver consists of 3 whole eggs cooked with olive oil or ghee, a generous portion of green vegetables like spinach or broccoli, a source of healthy fat like half an avocado or a handful of nuts, a moderate portion of low glycemic carbohydrates like sweet potato, rolled oats, or berries, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. This combination maximizes protein, provides anti-inflammatory fats, prevents insulin spikes, delivers essential nutrients for the liver, and keeps you full for hours. Have this meal every day. Combine it with smart choices for the rest of the day. Drink water, exercise, sleep well. And in 12 weeks, you'll see a transformation in your test results and how you feel. This isn't an empty promise, it's applied science. It's what I've seen work in hundreds of patients over years of clinical practice. Now, I want you to do 3 things. First, comment below with your SCOT and SGPT levels and tell me how long you've had fatty liver. This helps me better understand the profile of who's watching and create even more targeted content. Second, if you've tried to reverse fatty liver before and didn't succeed, comment here about what you tried and why you think it didn't work. We'll learn together from past mistakes so we don't repeat them. Third, share this video with someone you love who is also struggling with fatty liver. It could be a family member, a friend, a coworker. You could literally be saving that person's life by passing this information along. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and hit that notification bell, because next week I'm going to show you the 3 worst foods you absolutely must eliminate if you want to reverse fatty liver, and I bet at least one of them you're eating without realizing the damage it's doing. Don't miss this video. I'm Dr. Ricardo Almeida, and I'm here to guide you on this journey to recovery. You are not alone. Together, we will win this battle.